Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about how 5'9" point guards are going to change NBA 2K22 forever. So I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all good stuff. Let's try this 1 to 1,000 likes. Now, shout out to you guys for all the love that was shown on the big man video. We talked in this exact same title format how 7'3" bigs are going to change the game forever, and this is almost the exact same impact in my opinion. Now, ironically, both these videos are going to be me not showcasing the build that I myself am going to use, but it's two of the partners that I'm going to be playing with. So for those familiar with the channel, on the left we have the point guard build that my boy AK is going to be making as his first next gen build. It's going to be 5'9", 147. Then on the right we're going to have the point guard build that my boy Kitchen made, and you're going to see the gameplay of this in a little bit. It's going to be 5'9", 154 for a little bit more perimeter defense. But either way, we're going to be showing you these two different layouts of the build. I hope y'all enjoy. And on that, I'm going to straight into this. Alright, so first things first, we're going to start with Kitchen's build. So this is going to be 5'9", 154 on the weight, 5'10" wingspan, whatever you want to do for the body shape, slight, compact, whatever the situation may be. Obviously, some people like to just go with the smallest body type for the PGs. Either way, this build right here is going to have 37 shooting, 38 playmaking, 23 defense, and close to max physicals when it comes to the speed, acceleration, and stamina. I want to explain the speed first and foremost because I know a lot of people are going to be a little skeptical of this. And the next thing you're going to be skeptical of is going to be the finishing, obviously. So we'll talk about those two things. For speed, I'm 100% positive this is not going to impact your speed with ball in any way, shape, or form. All it's going to affect is on-ball defense, off-ball defense, and then off-ball movement when it comes to offense. But if you as the point guard are going to have the ball in your hands 99% of the time, or even like 80+% of the time, I really don't think dropping your speed by a couple is that big a deal. And the amount of attribute caps, dropping it from 99 or 98 to 95 is going to give you is ridiculous how much more you can put on your build. So you're going to see with this build right here, we have enough to get gold clamps and 97 steel for the Hall of Fame pickpocket. Now, yes, I do know if you were to go a little bit higher on the steel, you would be able to get pickpocket for less badge points, but I'm very penny pinching when it comes to attribute points here because I'm trying to make sure I can get everything. So I personally am going to go with 97. I don't think there's a lot of defensive badges you even need to really have equipped, but there are a lot of good ones on here. As you can see, you got gold menace, gold clamps, Hall of Fame pickpocket, interceptor, even ball stripper. I think is going to be comp when it comes to point guards guarding corner out on like stage and stuff like that when it comes to 3v3 and dropping from the corner maybe on a big. Interceptor is obviously going to help for that too, but ball stripper could be very interesting in terms of poking bigs when they're going up for standing layups, driving dunks, standing dunks, whatever the case may be. And you can even have gold defensive leader too. So if you're someone who's coming out here as the PG on like threes, or just the comp threes, stage threes, whatever you want to talk about, or just threes in general, and you plan for a lockdown, like a real lockdown to be on your team, like the build that I have at 6'6" that you've seen in the gameplay. If you plan to be playing with a lockdown and you're going to be like the third best defender on the court, you really could run gold defensive leader, and both your lockdown and your big man are going to have their defensive attributes all boosted by 3. It's actually a very good utility build in that sense, and really it's not a liability on defense. Yes, it doesn't have any interior defense, block, rebound, and it's very short, but on top of that, you guys have seen what steals are capable of in this game, and the fact that this build is still very competent when it comes to staying in front of defenders, and just the ability to steal the ball, it just carries you on defense, whether it's on the interior, off ball with passing lanes, or on ball just plucking people, and you're a little menace at 5'9". Now we'll talk about just what's so beautiful about this build. So it's the only build in the game that can have 99 3-pointer Hall of Fame blinders while also having 99 ball handle and Hall of Fame unpluckable. Now, some people have been very anti-unpluckable in the comments when it comes to my comments of the videos on the playmaking badges ranked in tiers, or very vocal about it on Twitter. I think you guys are crazy, to be completely honest with you, but to each their own. In all fairness, I just will say I think you're insane if you think that you could just take unpluckable completely off of Hall of Fame and just put it on 0, not even bronze, and that it's just going to do the exact same thing as Hall of Fame would. You're out of your mind if you think Hall of Fame unpluckable has 0 impact to your build at all. Realistically, what I think it is, a lot of people have a max of gold and they only have about 92 or 93 ball handle. So that is a drop off of literally like 6 ball handle and a level of unpluckable. I really don't think you guys should sleep on what that is capable of doing. And then this build also gets Hall of Fame bullet passer. It's really crazy the amount of attribute points you need to have a lot of these things on Hall of Fame, but this is what makes the build so special. So it's not that you have to be super short to have the Hall of Fame bullet passer, but it's just another essential key to this build that is a reason that you're okay with being this short. And I mean, man, just when it comes to shooting, there's so much stuff that you have unlocked that you wouldn't otherwise on like a 6'4", 6'3" point guard or anything like that. So you need 97 3-pointer to have Hall of Fame hot zone hunter on this build. We obviously have 99. Obviously, like I was saying, you do need 99 3-pointer for Hall of Fame blinders, which is nasty, bro. It's just killer in this game. Obviously, we have things like sniper that's unlocked at a very much level, like lower level 3-pointer, which isn't a huge deal. But Hall of Fame mismatch expert, 94. Again, this isn't something that you necessarily 100% need to be able to have this. Obviously, you could get things like mismatch expert on, say, 6'2" or anything like that, and you could still easily achieve 94 3-pointer. Even a 6'3" probably could do that. With this, we also have Hall of Fame Deadeye, which is very restricted to the 98 3-pointer, or 99 in this situation. Now, finishing is where we get to this discussion, right? You're wondering, can I at least make wide open layups? I've seen firsthand, I've only seen one miss on a wide open layup, and now I know that's very sad to hear in the first place, right? But this build is only built for the people who are just built like that at the point guard spot. Like, you are a 3-point hunting beast. You run tons of pick and roll. This is not for the ISO guys, I will say that much. Now, it's possible, honestly, and especially if you're playing that market, the 1v1 court in the city, that is fire for this build right here. You're just gonna 3-hunt. If you play a post score or a slasher or something like that, it's not even gonna matter because you yourself are gonna be getting tons of 3-pointers up, and you're just unguardable in that sense. Now, again, this is where we come back to the whole driving dunk thing and the whole driving layup thing. If you need that on your build, obviously this build is not for you. Me personally though, I run with an inside big. All my point guards, they're super outside oriented. We obviously run a ton of pick and roll, constantly spamming screens. Yes, you can judge that how you want. I really don't care. But either way, it's a very good complement to an inside big to have this build where you're going to completely utilize the range and just crazy 3-point ability that you have with this. The speed with ball that demands switches and double teams and stuff like that. And the big man just eats off that and dominates in that regard. Still has great defense. Still has really good speed, acceleration, and stamina. Again, I don't really think the speed's that big a deal. We're going to show you guys version number 2 real quick with more mid-range, a little bit less defense, and a little bit less speed as well. Before I go too far, I also wanted to show the takeovers for this build. So we have shot creator, sharp, playmaker, and on this one, we specifically have lockdown takeover. That's kind of crazy for a 5'9" build too. And it also is going to boost speed as well. So that's something worth keeping in mind if you do have the takeover active. None of these takeovers right here actually boost your speed. They do boost your speed with ball. I think playmaker might be the only one that actually does though, however, whereas shot creator boosts your ball handling. If you're curious about this stuff, I made a video on what attributes are boosted by each takeover early in the year. Feel free to check that out. But lockdown is going to boost your actual speed rating as well as just obviously tons of defensive stuff. So it's well worth thinking about at the very least if you want to be the two-way point guard where you're going to guard ball and run point guard on the offensive end. But I would suggest with this build to expect to be the 3rd best defender, probably guard the secondary ball handlers or the corner spot ups and stuff like that, hawking lanes on interceptions and stuff like that. And if they really do want to force you into the on-ball defense, then so be it. You got crazy steal rating, you can hold your own, you got the pickpocket, you got the interceptor to deny the ball. It's going to be really good. All right, so now right here we got AK's point guard build, 5'9", 147, 5'10" on the wingspan. Again, doesn't matter what the body shape is. I did solid. That's probably not what a lot of PGs would come out here and do. Also, I did have a part in kind of helping create both these builds, especially this one, and I wanted to put AK onto the fact that, again, I do think you could really get by with dropping your speed as a point guard. It's not going to affect your on-ball movement or the ball, like the ball being your hands and the movement in that regard. All it's going to change is you playing defense slightly, and I shouldn't undersell it. It definitely is going to affect your defense in terms of how fast you can move and how much you keep up with the defenders and stuff like that. But realistically, what this build is demanded is to be an absolute beast on offense. Like, you are carrying the team, scoring super heavily, demanding double teams, helping your big man score super easy. And again, you can see 38 playmaking, 38 shooting, maxed out 3-pointer, 92 mid, 99 free throw, 97 pass accuracy, 99 ball handling, 98 speed with ball, 99 acceleration, 99 stamina. That's kind of a given, but again, we have super high steal rating, 79 perimeter D for the silver clamps and menace. This one right here is again a little bit more offensive oriented. It did have slightly more close shots. It's 2 finishing badges, but who cares at that point? I've seen a couple times where, again, AK has gone in for wide open layups. He's made them. He's missed maybe 1 of like the 10 or 12 that I've seen him go in for. So yes, you are going to struggle on the interior on offense with this build. Can you run with an inside big that's going to correct it? And, you know, if that dude's going to be going for the slips properly and, you know, doing what he's supposed to as an inside big, then is it going to be a problem? Absolutely not. And again, you're going to have quick stop mid-range, pull up fadeaway mids and stuff like that too. You could even turn around and just post fade this thing whenever you want to, and that's your substitute for a drive game, in my opinion. And you're gonna see a lot of that in Pro-Am too. These are gonna be Pro-Am PGs that we're making right here for those 2 guys. And it's also gonna be really big in terms of comp stage 3s, regular 3v3 Pro-Am, 3v3 Park, whatever the case may be. These builds are not going to be a liability on defense by any means. There's a lot of people who have came out here and literally made builds that don't have defense. Why? Just to upgrade finishing. And then they're a complete liability on one side of the court, whereas just having finishing does not make you a liability on the offensive side of the court. You have literally 38 shooting and 38 playmaking. Mind you, you have the college too that could boost your shooting by 4. And I'm even going to go into the test builder and show you guys how many badges you can equip in terms of the shooting and playmaking. I'll set up a good little set for this, and you can see what different title would you expect in the playmaking shot creator. It is what it is. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and show you guys the best badge layout you could possibly put on this. Alright, so for finishing, going to be super quick. We got fast twitch and grace under pressure. If you want pro touch, go for it, but I don't think anybody's putting timing on their layups or anything like that, so it is what it is. Fast twitch, grace under pressure. It's not going to matter too much. First shooting, we have Hall of Fame blinders, Deadeye, Green Machine on silver, Hall of Fame stop and pop. This is a special from my boy AK. He was talking about how on current gen he thinks this is one of the best badges in the game. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't really heard that from everybody else, but so be it. If you want stop and pop, so be it. If you believe in Chef and the need for it, also so be it. But a lot of people have been talking about how you really don't need Chef either unless you're shooting from crazy range, and in which case too, if you go to the college that gives you the +4 shooting with Villanova, then boom, just like that, you have enough to put Chef on if you take off, say, like corner specialist or clutch shooter on bronze. But either way, Hall of Fame on Hot Zone Hunter, mismatch expert, which is going to be insane at your height, and mind you, that's going to be literally unreal when it comes to that. We got gold volume shooter and then Hall of Fame sniper. For the playmaking, we got Hall of Fame ankle breaker, bullet passer, hyperdrive, quick chain, Hall of Fame quick first step, unpluckable, handles for days, and gold needle threader. So if you're somebody who believes that you need things like dimer, or say, you know, things like tight handles or whatever it may be, or stop and go, then maybe you want the playmaking college instead. I don't really know which one that is, but either way, great options regardless, and you really cannot have enough playmaking and shooting badges. Is pretty much what I'm getting at when it comes to these outside point guard builds that are super offensive oriented. And then speaking of what it brings to the table that isn't just offensive oriented, we still have Hall of Fame pickpocket, interceptor, silver on clamps, menace, hustler, and ball stripper. This build is insane, bro. I really gotta say, it's a nightmare to play against. Alright, so in this gameplay, I'm probably going to still fast forward a little bit and show you guys just really key moments, because at the end of the day, I'm here to show you what the build's capable of. I'm not here to show you what my build is capable of in terms of the on-ball lockdown defense and stuff like that. Maybe for another day, but anyway, you can see they're 17-4. We got like about the same record as well. You can see these guys all have level 20 plus, 95 overalls, etc., stuff like that. Nice little lineup right here. They got 2 different guards, and this can be perfect for an example of Kitchen playing on-ball defense in some situations. There are a couple times that I'm going to show you what we could have done better and what we eventually did better, yet I just won't show you in the video, unfortunately. But I'm going to explain a couple situations that you guys, if you're making this exact same build, might want to work on defense in terms of rotations and avoiding Kitchen or the Kitchen build, so to say, being involved in on-ball defense too much. So right here, you can see, boom, just like that, rim run, off rip, right? Now, what needs to be done right here, no chase down from Kitchen, and Tonic can just know to drop, boom, just like that. He's gonna drop down to the paint, Kitchen, go out to the perimeter. This is where, again, just a miscommunication right here, but that is the principle of what you should do every single time if someone gets an easy drive on that Kitchen build. But I really don't think that's going to be a super often thing. If you're playing good perimeter defense and staying in front of your opposition, then you're going to be able to do your thing. But as you can see, bro, look at this movement. He's coming out here with, like I said, bronze quick first step, only 95 speed with ball, whereas he could have 97. And again, not a huge difference in that regard, but still. And then AKs would have 98 speed with ball, 99 acceleration. It really is crazy, man. Again, you're going to see they have a couple of times where maybe they could ISO Kitchen in the corner, but you're going to see later in the gameplay, they're going to try and just force it to the guy in the corner and have Kitchen just, you know, they act like he doesn't have any defense. And they might not know that he does have defense and good steal rating and perimeter defense, but there's going to be a lot of times where this right here, they just check a really errant pass to him. Now, he doesn't have any defensive badges, mind you, no pickpocket, no interceptor, no nothing like that. So it is unfortunate I can't show you guys the build to its best ability. I'll probably have plenty of gameplay stuff for you guys and fully updated when he actually does have the build kitted out and grinded. But look at that movement, man. I mean, from bronze quick first step, no unpluckable, no tight handles, no handles for days, no nothing, really. Just an 87 overall and a dream. So I will say this build actually gets really upgraded and kitted out in terms of the ratings super early on. Like you really don't have to, you don't have to grind this build too hard to have decent ratings in terms of what you want the build to do. So you're going to see we're coming out in the sides defense. We completely screw that up. He ends up hitting the pop too, which is really weird situation. He gets the ball back and then ends up just getting the dunk. Really weird defensive possession. This is why I was saying, like I said, I'm probably going to fast forward a couple possessions here and there because you're not here to see random BS like this. Anyway, this is where I want to talk about when Kitchen is dominating on the offensive end and he demands all types of attention from these two defenders right here. It's my best friend in terms of my build because As some of you guys know, my brick wall is not the best. It's only on bronze on this build, yet I'm a 6'6" build trying to run lockdown and set screens on offense, obviously, as you can see. So with that, if I have lower brick wall, the faster and better at shooting my point guard is, or the better he can just get himself open and not depend on my screens 100% of the time, equals the more I get open too. And because I'm lined up at the 2, they usually have the guard sides where it's going to be point guard and lockdown and then big man in the corner. So we get a lot of situations like this where they're going to key in on kitchen really heavy and then boom, I take the slip, corner's going to bait. Sometimes I'll check it over to Tonic in the corner, sometimes I won't. It's easy, simple like that. Again, his build makes offense the easiest thing in the world, and just really, it's not a hard read in terms of the slips and the pick and rolls and stuff like that. So you can see right there, me and Tonic coming out in sides defense. Kitchen gonna end up on ball defense. Again, if we can end up in a couple situations where Tonic is ready to drop off that corner and maybe Kitchen pushes him to the Tonic side, as you can see right there, would have been a really good time to rotate out. Either way, Kitchen's not getting dominated in the sense of he's still holding him up and stopping him from getting in front of him sometimes with no clamps, no pick dodger, no pickpocket, no anything in terms of the menace or interceptor or anything like that. You're going to see a couple times later in the video where they're trying to check it to him in the corner, and then just like that, he just gets a crazy interception. And this build is anything but a defensive liability is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And yes, some people are going to say, oh, he's going to get dominated on the interior. He's not going to be able to guard anybody. What does it really matter realistically on 3v3 or Pro-Am? And even, first of all, that's not the case. But either way, you can see right here, he gets switched on to the big man. What I'm thinking we're going to end up doing in some situations too is he will rotate out to the corner, as you saw him do right there, as I was able to get into action on defense. And then he is going to just boom, rotate to the corner. He's trying to move to the least useful defensive spots because obviously he's not the main focal defensive build. So in these situations where boom, this action is coming this way, he's able to just go over to this corner like that. Nice rotations. You can see they try and just check it to him just like that because they think like, okay, no defense, whatever, boom. It's just steal rating. It's not even interceptor or anything like that. And then boom, just out on the break, just like that. Quick stop from 3. This build is literally just a absolute little menace out there on the court, and it's so annoying to play against too if you've ever ran into one yourself. We'll show one more nice little defensive possession right here, so you can see me and Tonic again coming out in the sides defense. He's just gonna halt him up, bump him, all types of stuff like that. Boom, I'm passing off the big man back to Tonic. He doesn't know it, but either way, these guys are in scramble mode, panic mode. I'm on big man, Tonic playing lane. Boom. I mean, they really can't pick on Kitchen is kind of the point I'm trying to get at. Boom, I go for the slip, lob, easy. They're demanding so much attention. You cannot give up easy points like that when you're down by this much either, but they have no choice to. They gotta devote all types of attention to him. And I cannot wait until the build is fully kitted out and fully just an absolute monster on offense with like 35 plus on playmaking and shooting, and still very good defense too. You can see, boom, I'm hawking the lane, going out on the break, dunk. Just to show everybody where this three-pointer comes from too, it's just an off-ball dex. I'm not trying to like shave points off the scoreboard and not show you guys when Kitchen gets scored on or anything like that. So just like that, that's all that happened. Right here, really nice offensive possession. We're going to have a nice little slip. Kitchen's going to get a three-pointer off right there. Still open, mind you, but either way, I grab the rebound. He's going to dex around. Again, mind you, his speed isn't even that great. He's still moving around the court really fast, really swift-like, and that dude can't even keep up in the first place. It's just not looking good, bro. This stuff is crazy. So right there, again, situation where Tonic can drop down. Realistically, I do understand people's concern for getting babied at that point guard spot. If they're just going to rim run all day, it definitely is a cause for some concern in terms of defensive ability. But realistically, if they're just scoring twos every single possession and just, you know, if a couple dunks here and there were on Kitchen, or maybe, you know, in the situation where Tonic was trying to drop down and couldn't get there in time, regardless, they had one three-pointer the whole game. This lineup right here just absolutely destroys people from trying to get three-pointers off. And, you know, you could say other people could play sides on us and it'll stop us from getting threes too. But in a situation where maybe I, as the pick and roller, am running lock takeover or something like that, and for me getting my roll slips and getting a lot of points is getting me my takeover, then just like that, I'm able to make an impact on defense just because my point guard is freeing me up and he's demanding double teams and a lot of attention from the defense and stuff like that. And you can see, either way, we did still have 3 steals and 2 blocks as a team, 9 for 10 shooting, 4 for 5 from 3 with Kitchen right there, 0 turnovers. And again, these guys were a pretty solid team right here. So anyway, that's all for video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all the good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try this 1,000 likes. Made it to the end of the video, put 5-9 in the comments so support's made all the way through. And on that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take these, man. Peace.